Isabelle, a stunning young French girl, was enjoying a beach holiday with her parents, younger brother Victor, and some family friends. Her parents divorced 7 years prior, and she'd been living with her mother and stepfather ever since. During lunch, Isabelle's mother asked her to bring her friend Felix home someday, but the girl declined as they'd only met yesterday. Later, Victor became bored and roamed the room, checking on everyone's activities. However, when he reached Isabelle's room, he noticed her pleasuring herself and was taken aback by the sight. The following day, Victor and Isabelle walked to the beach to sunbathe, and Felix also arrived on the scene. He then invited Isabelle to a party that evening, to which she eagerly assented. That evening, Isabelle got ready for the party and asked Victor to divert her parents so she could slip away. She then arrived at the party and spent time with Felix. Later they went to the beach and began kissing. One thing led to another and they eventually made love. Afterward, Felix walked home with Isabelle and they exchanged goodbyes. A few moments later, Victor walked into Isabelle's room and asked her what had happened earlier, and she candidly told him that she'd slept with Felix. However, when Victor asked her to tell him everything that happened, Isabelle brushed him off and told him to keep this a secret. The following day, Isabelle went to the beach with her entire family. Felix also joined them, and he realized at this point that Isabelle had no feelings for him. The family had fun while celebrating Isabelle's 17th birthday, and after a few days the vacation concluded, and the family decided to return home. While on the way back, Isabelle noticed Felix from the car, but she completely ignored him. In the next scene, we see Isabelle dressed in professional attire and walking toward a hotel. She then entered room 1695 and met an older gentleman named George. The man apologized to her for not disclosing his true age on the website, to which Isabelle responded that she didn't mind at all. She then told the man that her name was Leah, and that she was 20 years old. Later, the two ended up being intimate, after which Isabelle took some money from the man and left. On the way back home, Isabelle read a book on the subway and returned home as if nothing had transpired. She then kept the money she earned in the closet and headed to shower. A few minutes later, she went to a website using her nickname, Leah, and watched some adult videos. The following day at school, the students discussed poetry and the joys of romance, and also talked about how they spent their summer break. Later, Isabelle learned from a classmate that an old man once met her sister, and she slept with him and returned for a Prada bag. She then suggested that Isabelle save his phone number. Isabelle was taken aback and asked if she was serious, but her friend assured her that she was joking and that she hated Prada bags. Afterward, Isabelle received another offer to sleep with a businessman for 300 euros. She arrived at the hotel in the afternoon and met the man in the lobby. The two then entered a room where the man asked her to caress herself while he observed and pleasured himself. When they were done with the act, the man didn't give her the entire amount, and when Isabelle demanded it, the man threatened to inform her family. Isabelle had no leverage against this man at this point, so she left the place irritated with herself. Later, on the subway, Isabelle received a text message telling her that someone was interested in her services for 500 euros. Isabelle accepted the offer without hesitation and arrived at a parking lot, since she didn't want to be deceived again. Without hesitation, the man agreed and they had a great time in the car. Upon arriving home, Isabelle was unintentionally seen by her stepfather while taking a shower. He then informed his wife that it was Isabelle's second bath of the day, and in response, she told her husband that it was all a woman's business. Later, Isabelle's mother invited her to visit an opera theater with her, but she declined, claiming that she wasn't in the mood. However, when her mother convinced her that she needed to go out and explore life at this age, Isabelle changed her mind. Once they reached the opera theater, Isabelle noticed one of her clients, George, accompanied by a young woman. She also saw a family friend, Peter, who was on holiday with them by the sea, showing interest in her mother. Moments after that, Isabelle received a text message from George, inviting her to meet him at their usual hotel on Wednesday. The next meeting with George was different because they had a drink and conversed for a long time. When she wondered who the girl at the theater was, George revealed that she was his daughter. The two hadn't spoken in many years, but he was now trying to mend their relationship. As they chatted, George inquired if she had many other clients like him, but Isabelle didn't answer him. Following that, they proceeded to have a steamy time together. When Isabelle realized he was dead, she anxiously rushed to the restroom, where she stumbled upon his head. Isabelle noticed that George had taken a stamina-boosting medication and died as a result of an overdose. She then rushed out of the hotel without notifying anyone. However, when she reached home, Isabelle told her mother that she slipped in the shower and hit her head. The following day, 2 cops arrived at Isabelle's mother's office and revealed the truth about Isabelle's double life. The mother was startled and refused to believe that her daughter could do such a thing. But when the cops showed her photos of Isabelle outside the hotel, she was horrified by the revelation. However, the cops told her that they weren't going to arrest Isabel and that she was considered a victim as she was a minor. They explained that they needed to figure out if she participated voluntarily or was forced. Later, upon reaching home, they went through Isabel's laptop and discovered the website where she uploaded her nude pictures. They also discovered the money Isabel had hidden in her wardrobe. One day later, Isabel returned home from school, and her mother angrily confronted her, asking why she was selling herself. She genuinely couldn't grasp Isabel's motivations for doing this, as they always had money. Furthermore, her mother was worried about whether she used condoms while being intimate with these men and asked her if she'd do it again. In response, Isabel told her mother that these things were in the past now and it was concluded. Next, the mother, still disturbed by this, began blaming herself, but her husband reassured her and urged her not to. He told her Isabel was a beautiful woman, and it was no surprise that men wanted to sleep with her, but the mother remained horrified because she felt that if George hadn't died, Isabel would continue this behavior. The following day, Isabel arrived at the police station and gave an honest account of what she'd experienced. She said that one day after school, an older man approached her and offered her money for her services. After some deliberation, she decided she should do it, and at first she was disgusted, but she soon grew accustomed to it. She also bought a second phone for work use and signed up for a website to meet men. The officer then asked her if she intended to do this again in the future. Isabel claimed it was just an experience, but the officer warned her that it might be dangerous because she never knew who she'd meet. Underage girls were easy prey, and they were frequently attacked and even killed. That evening, Isabel's mother told her to see a psychologist because she believed Isabel might be suffering from psychiatric issues. Isabel, on the other hand, claimed she didn't need a psychologist and assured her that she was okay. After that, her parents deliberated on what to do with the money. They thought it was better to donate it somewhere, but Isabel became agitated and declared that she wanted her money for herself because she earned it. The following morning, Isabel and her mother went to see a psychologist. There, Isabel claimed that she wanted to pay the doctor with the money she earned. Her mother refused, but the psychologist said that she earned the money and that it was hers. In the meantime, Isabel visited Peter's home to watch his children while he and his wife went out. When the couple returned home, Peter offered to drive Isabel home. However, the wife was clearly against it, so she drove Isabel herself. On the way, Isabel understood that her mother told Peter's family about her, which was why his wife was apprehensive. However, she told Peter's wife that she wasn't a threat and that she should keep an eye on her husband instead. Upon arriving home, Isabel spoke with her stepfather, who informed her that her mother was upset because of her actions. But on the other hand, Isabel didn't appear to be troubled by it. She then questioned her stepfather about his personal life and also asked him what he thought of her. However, the man gently told her that she should be gentler with her mother. With this, Isabel changed the subject and tried to seduce him, but right at that moment, her mother arrived and seeing them laughing together disturbed her. She then stormed into the bedroom, followed by her husband. The mother informed them that a demon had possessed her daughter, but her husband claimed that it was all a provocation and that he understood everything. Afterward, the mother decided to speak with her daughter again, but the conversation didn't go favorably. As they argued, Isabel claimed to be aware of her and Peter's relationship, and when Isabel inquired if she slept with him, her mother didn't answer. The following day, Isabel returned to the psychologist and informed them that she felt nothing while sleeping with multiple men. But when she thought about it later at homework school, she wanted to try again. Isabel also stated that she liked George and enjoyed being with him since he was different. However, she believed she was solely responsible for George's death and broke down into tears. The next day at school, Isabel's best friend told her that she slept with a boy and had lost her virginity. However, it was not very good and the boy was now ignoring her. Isabel reassured her, saying that this was normal for the first time, and suggested that they go to a party later. That evening, Isabel's friend arrived to pick her up, and the two of them went to the party. Isabel drank a couple of cocktails before venturing out onto the balcony where she met her classmate Alex. Now, Alex appeared to have a crush on her and asked if he could kiss her. Without hesitation, Isabel allowed him and the two shared a kiss and danced together. After that, they wandered around the city all night talking about their lives. After some time had passed, the scene transitioned to the spring session, and Alex and Isabel were in a relationship. However, Isabel didn't have feelings for him and she ended their relationship. Alex was clearly upset by this, but he accepted her decision and walked away. After that, Isabel took out her secret SIM card and inserted it into her phone. As soon as she turned on the phone, multiple messages showed up, and she smiled in satisfaction. In the next scene, Isabel arrived at the same hotel where she used to frequent. After waiting for a while, an old woman approached her and informed her that she was George's wife. She told Isabel that she knew everything about how they met and their intimate lives. Isabel apologized for his death, but the woman informed her that it wasn't her fault because he was already sick. Instead, she was glad that George died while making love to a beautiful girl like her. She then offered Isabel €300 and asked her to accompany her to room 6095 where her husband died. Upon arriving at the room, Isabel assumed the woman was trying to take advantage of her and asked whether she should undress, but the woman answered that it wasn't necessary. She then lay down in bed and invited Isabel to join her. When the woman proceeded to caress Isabel's face and told her she was a beautiful woman, soon they both fell asleep, but a few moments later, Isabel woke up alone in the room with the money left on the counter for her. If you enjoyed the recap, please leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.